So yeah, Vortex here, and welcome to my review of the KZ HBB DQ6S. So this is a collaboration between Hi Bad Boy, or his YouTube channel is Bad Guy Good Audio Reviews, and KZ to tune something more to his preference, which also makes it smoother than the treble, which obviously I'll talk about in a bit. And yes, as usual, full disclaimers, this is sent to me by KZ, so thank you very much, I do appreciate it. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own, and yeah, let's just get straight into it. So a closer look at what you get. Mine is also the grey one, well, kind of a graphite one. It's a darker shell than the original, I'll talk about that another time. So you can see there, HBB, KZ HBB DQ6S in-ear 3 dynamic earphones. It's got the same driver cone as before. Brilliant sound quality with super bass, brings an immersive music experience. Again, mine's mic version and graphite. Just information there. So specs. So 82 grams, which is light, 3.5mm, usual 0.7mm pin type. It's the usual C-type connector. So 20 Hz to 40 kHz, which is a lot. 25 ohm pins and 116 decibels sensitivity. These are very easy to pair up, but I'll talk about that later on. Empty because I've been using them. That's what it looks like. There they are. See, it's kind of dark shell. You can get them in rose gold, but I think I like the more understated appearance, shall we say. So you get all the usual kind of accessories. So here's the tips. I'll show you the tips in a bit, because they can vary sometimes. Just the documentation, which is there, and as you can see, mine is a microphone version. So let's just take a quick look. So this is the starter cable, so right angled connector, which is good. That's the normal kind of connector. As you can see, it's got the letter on there for R. It's the flat cable, as you can see here. It's the flat type of cable. Obviously it's a microphone version, so it's just got the one button. Mic there. Obviously I can unravel it, but you've seen these by now. You've seen these cables like a million times. But yeah, it's the newest style cable. Again, it's like the flat. It's kind of a flat cable. It's fine. Much better than they used to be, which is kind of cool. And yeah, so this is what they look like now. So mine's the grey one. There's the rose gold version, or I call it pink gold. I think this graphite one looks kind of understated. So obviously they're normal 2-pin. It's got the fin on there. It's the same shape as the original DQ6. Quite of a dark shell. And there you can see Hawaii Bad Boy's like logo. It says there KZ HBB DQ6X. DQ6S is right there. And that's it. Take the nozzle up. That's what the nozzle looks like there. And there's I can't see any paper or anything down there for tuning. That's what it looks like. So yeah, enough for me rambling on. Obviously I've already been using these and I've already graphed it, so yeah, just straight into the review, next section. So yeah, so finally on to the review stage of the DQ6S. So yeah, so like I did before, this is just a quick overview of the aesthetics, so you can see what I look like. Obviously they're like the normal T-pin. So let's get straight into comfort while I'm looking at it. This fin here may or may not affect you. I had no issue, and it's, for me, keeps it very secure. But some people don't like that. So if you've tried IEMs before, which have that and they're not comfortable, this will probably be the same for you. I was fine. I really had no issue with it, but that's just what they are. Again, they're not heavy. The build quality seems really solid. That's the kind of nozzle that's on it. Again, like I said before, I can't really see any paper or anything like for tuning. So I guess the tuning is done. Maybe on the crossover, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, comfort and the fitment for me was very good. Not the best, but more than good enough. Just depends if that fin you know, affects you, because fitment and comfort is more important I think than sound. Like I've said before, it could sound amazing, but if it's very uncomfortable to use, you're not going to listen to it. So that's my kind of perspective on that. Isolation, I thought it was okay. Again, you get better, you get worse. It's not sealed because it's DD, so they have to breathe. So you have to bear that in mind. So sensitivity and power, I thought was it's very easy to power. I didn't find it needed anything special. It's not like trying to push a plane knob, which is a bit more difficult. I had no issues. You can use this off your phone, I think, and you'd be perfectly fine. I tried this off my Parker F2 Pro, topping L30, which is way overkill. The dongle adapters and stuff should be fine. So yeah, no issues at all. So let's talk about the tonality. Like, does it sound natural? It sounds nearly fully natural, which kind of sounds weird because it's got 3 DDs. I think a single dynamic sounds the most natural, and this is 3 DD, so it sounds nearly 100% natural. If you can understand what I mean, it's quite close, but I was perfectly happy with it. Again, it's priced very well for that. So let's talk about stage. Stage, I thought was good. It didn't feel like it was closed in, like it's in the middle of your head. It didn't feel like that. Again, I was quite happy with that, and the same for imaging. Fine, no issues at all. Let's talk about tips. So if I can show it, you can just about see the edges, so it's like a starline tip. You can see it probably better there. You can just see around the ball. So that's the kind of tips it comes with. Again, I had no issues. You can always swap them out if you have no, you know, if they're not really the right ones for you. Yeah, so let's talk about, just going to the sound. So now I'm going to have a ladder graph. Now I might do a separate video with comparing to the original DQ6, but this one has a elevated low end, which is what BGGR likes for his library. I think the original had a good balance, but I don't mind the increased low end. But just beware, when some your library might kick. It might be a little bit too bassy, but I don't mind the extra bass. But I was quite happy with the original bass. Again, I'll talk about it in a separate video. So it's got so it's got an elevated low end, including sub bass. So these can hit really hard when you want it to. Not much bleed into the mids, but I'll talk about that in a second. I like the bass. It's good quality bass. Texture decay is good. They've used decent drivers like in the original. I was quite happy with it. It sounds good. I was quite happy with the low end. Mids, a small bleed towards the bottom, which helps things sounding, gives a little bit more thicker. I like that. I don't like thin lower mids. It can sound dry. But the tuning obviously has got a thicker lower mids, not massively amounts, but a nice amount, so things have body to them, which is good. Again, I tried this in a few different genres, and I liked the tuning choice, which is good. So it helps certain instruments sound more live, like kick drums sound a bit more weight to them. I was happy with them. So upper mids, again, happy with them. They're not shouty. They might be slightly conservative for some. I like that. I prefer to be smoother there instead of being overly aggressive and shouty. I like the balance of the upper mids. Things sound real is the best way of describing it. Instead of things being shoved in your face or pushed too far, pulled too far back, it's again a good balance. I find these very well balanced is probably a good way to describe it. And the treble, much better than I like over the original. The treble on the original I never really liked. It's a bit too peaky for my taste. Obviously you can mod it or EQ it or whatever you want. But with this pair, I found you didn't have to EQ anything. Just straight out of the box, plug the wire in, and good to go. No messing around. Treble, maybe a little bit on the conservative side. I like that. Again, I prefer to be smoother and fatigue free than too much, but the overall treble balance, I liked it. You still got the details like the original, it's just not harsh. You can use these for long periods of time, obviously comfort depending. Not much to say, everything is there, all the instruments, what you want there are there. You hear everything. There's still a very clear earphone. The reduction of treble hasn't made these any worse, like as in music enjoyment. I enjoy music on these a lot because it's a fairly, not a massively safe tuning, but it's a fairly safe tuning, and I like that. I like what they've done. Again, like instruments sound clear. Everything that's meant to be, that sits in the treble region, I like what they've done. I like the tuning, the conservative tuning. I like what it is. So it's got, everything sounds more realistic than being overly boosted. And yeah, not much to say really. I was quite happy with it. So conclusion is, I like what they've done. Bass maybe a little bit too much for me, a little bit. But again, I'm happy it's got bass. I prefer it to be overly bassy than not enough. I don't like things anemic. Very good balance overall. That's the word of the day. Is kind of it's a balanced tuning with a little bit of a low end lift. I like that. It suits I like a lot of electronic music, and this suits me very well. Everything was very clear for what I use. Obviously the extra bass makes it sound fun. And yeah, it just, the only real negatives I would say really is the shape, because it's the same as the original. But I had no issues with that. Some people may do, some people may not. But yeah, everything through the frequency range sounds good. I'm happy with the bass. I was happy with the conservative, I'd say, mids. Makes everything sound real, which I like, and obviously it's fatigue free. Treble, again, I like they just reduce one over the original. It's not really peak anymore. Zero fatigue, but still got all the details that you need. All the music I listened to sounded great, and I enjoyed my time with these. So not much to say really. Obviously, you can either EQ the originals if you've got them, or you could use like the mod that Riku uses, so you can take the reduce the treble a bit. Or you can just have something like this out of the box. It just works fine. So yeah, I think I'll end it there because I can keep waffling on. So yeah, it's a good set. Probably one of the best KZ sets so far. And yeah, so thanks very much for watching. And as usual, let me know anything in the comments. And yeah, take care.